Hello, I hope all is progressing well. My name is Kevin Dufresne. Welcome to I Don't Know, We Can Talk About It, where we discuss myriads of topics civilly, reasonably, and responsibly. Let's begin. The first topic is about reading aloud in class. I'm a huge supporter of reading aloud, not just as a person reading aloud, though everyone in a classroom reading aloud. Reading aloud allows for a child to experience voice, experiment with voice, experience other voices, experiment with listening, practice listening. Observing between how one approaches text and how another approaches text, the reading aloud can be very valuable to an individual's progression with learning, as a reader, as a listener, as a communicator. I am a huge supporter of reading aloud in a classroom setting. Reading aloud helps with engagement as well. Acknowledging that a student may want to participate more actively in an educational environment is possible through a method like reading aloud, giving an opportunity for an individual to voice as a participant, as a contributor to the progressions of a classroom. I'm a huge supporter of reading aloud. Our next topic, TikTok and mental health advice. Even when reading a book from any individual proposing advice, I always consider advice with a grain of salt. Consider science, for example, always in progression, always in connection with a hypothesis, a possibility of another possibility, a possibility against another possibility. I think assessing information needs a scientific approach. Research and analysis are important to discerning between information. What determines if one is popular varies, especially in relation to social media. Any medium like social media. We're looking at, meaning humans, individuals engaging with TikTok or any mediums like social media, with parameters of information that people might rely on. Not only might one rely on the information, one might transfer information to another. However the transference happens, the information is spreading. I think the article represents a few good approaches to acknowledging how to discern information. Now, even if an individual presenting the information is incorrect, invalid, one may appreciate a person's personality. One may appreciate the perspective comically, though in a rhetorical or what if hypothetical sense. Even if one moves away from the video thinking that's a load of invalid information. So I think when anyone is embracing the information, then relaying the information as a feeling, connecting with information personally, the individual is not just engaging with the information more so than the individual relaying the information, as well as the medium of which one is embracing to connect with the information, to connect with the individual. The psychology of a medium like a cell phone is really interesting in connection with spatial development, because a cell phone creates an illusion of space within a space, then a space within a space creates an illusion of a space within a space within a space within a space. The continuity, the potential for a perpetual illusional design is near infinite. So the response from a somewhat finite, though arguably infinite, space outside of social media, especially in connection with potential of an individual viewing, interacting with a particular medium, or of what is of a particular medium, brings one to assess multiple dimensions of reality, though in a state outside of, though arguably in connection with, mentally, the space of many spaces, if one will. When assessing how the information relay affects an individual, I think assessing the reality of spatial development is most necessary, even considering one may acknowledge information as invalid, because one may be in connection with invalidity, which is what one might carry forward within one's own space, since that connecting individual is connecting whatever reality from whatever space to one's personal reality, which one has to acknowledge when one is away from that other space, that other connection, to ensure one's space in a more immediate physical sense is in balance. All right, let's move on to our origami. Now, I'm going to make sure to remind you, I don't know, we can talk about it. It works in tandem with piatures.com/forum. If you're unsure how to get there, well, take a gander.
Welcome to I Don't Know, We Can Talk About It's intermission point for www.piatures.com. Welcome to Piatures, where expression, the choice to express in the public sphere, is to bear in the wild your choice responsibilities, where beyond anyone and anywhere else you will encounter yourself. Aside from Piacher's music, books I've read, publications, merchandise, and of course the About page, the Forum of Piacher's works in tandem with I Don't Know. We can talk about it. So I encourage you to stay up to date via the YouTube channel, the podcast, or use the forums to be an active participant in future discussions or other discussions. I hope we can continue to grow together. Onward and Upward. Kevin Dufresne.
Welcome back to I Don't Know, We Can Talk About It. My name is Kevin Dufresne. We're moving on to our origami session. Now, first I have a rectangle paper. So what I'm going to do is square this paper up by taking an edge and bringing it to another edge. The short edge to the long edge, specifically. Now, I'm just going to sharpen this here as much as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to want to make sure that any edge I have with origami is pretty sharp. I'm going to create a serrated edge here so I can rip this paper, this flap that's developing, that I'm creating, off. Okay. Next, take this and just rip this rectangle flap off. Now I have an extra flap, which you can do much with. Then we're just going to take this square that we have now, and we're going to fold it again. We're going to fold point to point and corner to corner. Reminder, this is regular notebook graph paper. So I'm just ripping it out of the notebook, and I'm taking the rectangular portion and squaring it. If you have origami paper, it might be more equal, unless you have origami paper that is not square, even, edge to edge, point to point. So I'm just gonna fold. That's it. Fold from edge to edge and point to point. Make sure you do that with all of them. Okay. Next, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna fold again. As you can see, we have a nice showing of our lines. We're going to again fold, but we're gonna just do a halfway fold from the square edge. We're gonna take this, fold, and we're just gonna fold it here. We're gonna do the same thing again. Now what we're making today is really a base, but I realized this base is also, well, a pretty cool design. And it's a pinwheel base. So here we have the fold in. The next step is we have a line in the middle. So we're just gonna fold one bottom part up to the line. And as you can see, we have the other fold to help us follow with our next fold. We're just gonna fold them both to the line, okay? The next step is we're gonna open one part up now. We have most of the folds we need to get started with this pinwheel. We're gonna take this fold, we're gonna open it, but we're gonna hold the bottom part. So we're just gonna take this fold, and we're gonna give it kind of a fold right here. Now this is where it gets, you're gonna see, I have this fold inside. So it's like I'm folding one side, and then I'm just gonna bring it down here. And I'm gonna do this again so you can see. So again, we come up from this fold, right? So it's here. Now you can see this line here, right? So there's a diamond line. So from here, I'm just gonna open it. It's like I'm just folding this half out, right? Here, and there we have it. And the next thing is, well, we have a pinwheel. So I'm just do a nice little rotation here, and we're just gonna fold it out again. So we're gonna take this one, and we're gonna fold it here. So now as you can see, we rotate it here in our pinwheel. You see that? So we have it here. Now we do the same thing on both sides, but to get our pinwheel, all we're gonna do now is just fold this up halfway. So you can see we're halfway there, okay? So again, fold these here so that they're even, Then you're gonna fold it up. All right. Next, we'll do the opposite side. So we're gonna open up our bottom portion. We're just gonna, like I said, just going to take it. We're just gonna open it here. So we open this up. We open it and we just fold that flap in there. We get a little bit of a nice triangle in there, and then boom. Right here, we fold it. All right. Next, we're gonna do the same on the opposite side. So if we look closely here, I'm just gonna open it. See that rectangle form? It's going into a triangle form now. And then we're just gonna fold them. Boom. Okay. And then, of course, we just come up here. We just fold this portion. See, when they're both here, looks like a little rooftop, right? See that little rooftop? Then we just fold it up and we bring it in here. And voila! What's cool about the pinwheel is, one, you can literally make it a pinwheel, so you can stick a pen or tape a straw here, and you can have it spin this way, or you can have it spin this way. That's really cool about the pinwheel base. The other thing is, well, you can kind of have this as a pinwheel star, so you can play with it if you like, and it floats really nice. Okay, so that's our pinwheel design. Origamis are really awesome art form from, as I've come to learn Japanese culture. I really appreciate origami. It has wonderful benefits for the brain, for one's spatial development. So enjoy origami, the art of paper folding. Another aspect of origami I appreciate is the ability to create from paper and how one can just design from paper if one has paper available. Different styles of origami are available for different styles of paper. I tend to do most of my origami from square paper. All right. Our next topic concerns reading a physical book. Reading a physical book has many benefits in relation to spatial development. The book I'm going to discuss today, Mastery, by Robert Greene. What I like about Mastery is how the text offers a philosophical perspective from the author, considering the upbringings, the progressions of particular people in society, particular people that have success to a degree, and how methods of success derive from these individuals progressing with the methods in connection with prior behaviors. I think the text offers a great balance between self-culturing and between upbringing. The text engages one with what contexts are, what context can be, and what context can transform. The elements of the text are in the grounding of the methods in connection with the realities from what the methods help transform. What the realities are in the past, what the realities become in the present, and how the realities can be in the future. I think the text is wonderful for one to discern between effective methods of becoming masterful, if one will, improving, if one will, at one's craft, whatever one's craft may be, whatever one's skill may be. I think the text offers balancing perspectives between different realities, so a reader might engage with understanding one's life may improve in myriad ways. What can one discern within one's life with the examples present to navigate one's life more responsibly, more aware, more mindfully, to garner success? Thank you for joining me for another episode of I Don't Know. We can talk about it. Onward and Upward. Kevin Dufresne.